Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I am standing in the pit lane of Spa-Francorchamps and behind me is Michelin's 911. As a Michelin brand ambassador, I get some incredible experiences and benefits that stretch further than their wonderful food and their wonderful tyres. On top of all of that, I get to tick some incredible lifelong dreams, including coming here to Spa on a track day with a couple of 911s. We'll get to the GT3 RS a little bit later. That's actually here for another video that we're shooting tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. It's an RMA track day today and tomorrow. For those of you that don't know, RMA have been around for more than 30 years, and I can't believe that I've never actually been to one before. Leighton Clark, who runs RMA, is just down there. In fact, he's got his brand new GT3 RS here, and hopefully I'll get some passenger laps in that later today or tomorrow. RMA are actually a partner with Michelin UK, a bit like Porsche GB. This is a GT Silver base spec Carrera 992.2, so the latest facelift generation that came out a matter of months ago. It's literally just been run in. It's done pretty much exactly 1,000 miles. It's currently sitting on its original aero wheels, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but thankfully they are clad with Michelin's Pilot Sport 4 S tyre, which are N-marked, meaning that they are homologated for the 992 generation 911. Now, we're going to hopefully get to experience the 4S tyre and the Cup 2 tyre, depending on how the weather goes today. And I'm going to try and explain what the difference is between the two tyres, because essentially the long and short of it is the Pilot Sport 4S is an ultra high performance road tyre that is capable of going on track, whereas the Cup 2 is an ultra high performance track tyre that is capable of going on road. Anyway, the sighting laps are about to start. I'm going to go and grab a helmet and head out because I've never been around Spa before. And then after that, Leighton has organised a pro driver and instructor to jump in with me and show me the best way around this circuit. So hopefully over the next couple of days, I'm going to improve and feel really comfortable when I get out there. That is a beautiful 599. Wow. Right then guys, here we are, out on the circuit of Spa. This is literally my 4th lap around here. I've just had a lovely guy called Alan giving me some tuition laps. There's a lot to learn, but what a circuit. What an incredible circuit. And boy, oh boy, there is some incredible cars and machinery out here. Next level. So let me just remind you, I'm in a base Carrera 992.2, 394 horsepower. And I'm on Michelin's Pilot Sport 4S tyre, which is predominantly a road tyre. But it's doing an exceptional job out here, it really is. This is unreal. What an experience. Eau Rouge! Ah! Oh. Okay, maybe I chopped off a little bit too much apex that time around. Wow. Incredible. And what a car. It's a base car. We're going to be nudging 150 at the end of the Kemmel Straight. That's a Fun Cup Beetle in front of us. Super fast through the twisty stuff. Not so fast down the straights because it hasn't got a load of power. Got a fast GT3 RS coming up behind us. Let's get in behind it. Incredible. Patience, Joe, patience. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. This is where I wish the aero kit actually gave me some aero. My God. Right, apparently this is a really late turn in, almost like you're heading to the gravel, so it straightens up the S's. I'm really bad with names around here. Right, we'll let that car through in a second. We've got another GT3 RS that was cruising, but now appears to be up my chuff. So I'll just indicate to the right here, let them through. Oh. I hadn't planned for this video to be a scientific tyre test. It was more about my subjective feelings on both sets of tyres. But I did decide to do a push lap just so when I got home I could compare lap times. Pilot Sport 4 S Lap in the base Carrera 992.2. As I started to push harder, the car did start to move around a little bit. The traction and stability was switched off. Due to the imminent rain that arrived in the afternoon, my time on track with this Space 911 was limited. It also meant that I didn't get completely clear full laps. But thankfully Spa is such a long circuit, about 2 minutes 45 in a base 911, that I was able to stop the clock a bit earlier, around about 2/3 of a lap. In fact, I'm just coming up to it now. As I go underneath this gantry, there's a line on the floor, and that's where I stop the clock. As we finish our cool down lap, we can reflect a little bit on those laps. I mean, firstly, for a base car, a base 911, this is so capable. I thought the brakes would start crying enough after one lap, but I just did about 5 in a row, and I tell you what, absolutely unreal. Really, really incredible bit of kit. The tyres, to think that these are PS4 S's that I've used for many years on the road, knowing full well that they're a fantastic high performance road tyre, like incredible. To do that to them around Spa. Okay, I'm not a seasoned race driver, I'm not a pro, I'm an amateur around here, but still, this is a base 911, not necessarily set up for track use, with no modifications, on PS4 S tyres that are end-marked. And it's probably the end-mark feature that I can feel more than anything. The fact that these tyres are homologated for this car, therefore designed for a rear-engined, rear-wheel drive 911. Now we're going to swap to cups, and once again, please, let's just hope that those clouds don't turn into rain, because then we'll be going back to PS4 S's. Right then, you join us about half an hour later, and as you can see, we've swapped the wheels out and the tyres. Before we look at the cups, can we just admire how good these wheels look compared to the ones that this car was spec with? Anyway, tyres. We now have Pilot Sport Cup 2s on the base Carrera. These once again are N-Mark, so they're homologated for the 992 generation Carrera. It's going to be interesting to see how much extra performance they add to this base car, because the 4S's felt really good. My inkling before going out in the car is that I'll be able to carry a little bit more corner speed because of the extra grip available, and I'll be able to brake a little bit later because once again I've got more front axle grip especially, which is what you need when you're slowing down. But it's going to be interesting all the same, jumping from one to the other in exactly the same car. Anyway, whilst this weather holds off, I think we should jump in and take it out on track. The base 911 on Cup 2s. Has it made a difference? Yes. Instantly. I can feel the higher loads through the corners. I can feel the extra braking ability that I have. Just seems to have more grip everywhere. Unbelievable. Oh, yes. It's so much better on the brakes. Once again, these are standard brakes. Standard. The small ones. Unreal. The turning is just lovely. I can pick the throttle up earlier. Little bit of rain on the windscreen. What a machine! Base 911 with some Cup 2s, and it is so capable on track. I can't believe the brakes, honestly. So stable and balanced through here. Oh. I've got everything switched off, stability and traction. Oh, it's so impressive. Box fresh. I'm now about to start my push lap on the Pilot Sport Cup 2 tyre. You'll probably notice that the car looks more stable, which it was. It gave me more confidence on the brakes, had a much better turn-in, had a little bit more apex speed in the corner, and also accelerated out of corners a little bit better. I actually came out the top of Eau Rouge about 3 or 4 miles an hour quicker than I did on the Pilot Sport 4S, and that meant that I was about 2 miles an hour faster by the end of the Kemmel Straight. In fact, I recorded an indicated 152 miles an hour, which actually isn't much slower than the GT3 RS was the next day. After getting a nice clean pass on this Radical, I think it was, we're quickly catching a Cayman GT4, which I believe was on a slowdown lap, and this next section was definitely compromised time-wise by them letting us past, but we would have only lost a couple of tenths. Otherwise, this lap was pretty clear.
crossing the line at 1 minute 42.226, roughly 2.2 seconds quicker than when we're on the Pilot Sport 4S. And although that might not sound like a massive amount of time, if we did do a full lap, that time difference would have been well over 3 seconds, which is a huge amount of time over one lap around Spa.
As good as the PS4Ss are, you whack some cups on the same car, same track, same conditions, although it has just started to sprinkle with rain. The biggest difference for me was actually on the brakes, the positive feeling on the brakes. Because the cups are a lot more, let's call them slick, they've got a lot more stability when you're pushing them hard. So whether that's through a corner, loading it up that way, or loading it up on the brakes and loading it up out of corners, although this has less than 400 horsepower. So I don't think it really ever strains the rear cups on this. Maybe if it was an S or a GTS or something. If you walk up to the brakes on a standard 911, 992.1 or 2, and you look at the actual size of the calipers and the discs, they're not that big. Is it worth getting Cup 2s for your 911 if you're going on track? Yes, for sure. They're quicker, they give you more stability, and the longevity of them as well, because they're designed to work at higher temperatures, they're designed to work under a lot of load for prolonged periods of time. I knew cups were good. I've used them on my BMWs for the past, 6 or 7 years. The transformation and what this base 911 becomes, I mean, I take the mickey out of it having an aero kit, which adds absolutely no performance to this car. In fact, it probably hinders it a little bit down the Kemmel Straight because it's just drag. But actually, you throw some cups on this car, and it's not a million miles away from a GT3. It's been a dream of mine to come out to Spa and do a track day. Doing a track day out here with RMA, with this car, with Michelin support, with that GT3 RS. I mean, life doesn't get any better, really doesn't. I'm so grateful, so thankful. Also, Patrick, who's just in front of the car there, absolutely fantastic. Wow.